63, I'm sorry. I need better glasses.
Well, I'm going to try to do this in my teacher voice. I met Gail when we were in 3rd grade. And you know what? She was kind of irritating. She and I liked the same boy in 3rd grade. And his name was Billy Meyer. And Mrs. Young, our 3rd grade teacher, just decided to put me next to Billy Meyer. And I got to talk to him all the time. But Gail was not going to take that. And so she took all of her crayons and gave half of them to Billy. How irritating, I tell you. And that's a story that we have told for, what, 70 years, Gail? And we met Bill Meyer at all of our reunions, and we talked about that. So then we went on to Henry, and we were classmates, but she excelled academically, and she took part in band and orchestra and a yearbook and all kinds of things that she was building character. And so then we also ended up at the University of Minnesota together, and we both went into teaching. She taught in Minneapolis, and I taught in Robbinsdale. But we kept in touch, and she worked with children of the inner city and did an excellent job at that. And then Gail moved to Ogunquit, Maine, and she not only taught, but she took pride in her community, and they had asked her to be on committees and so forth. So she was working for her community at that time too. And she moved back, and she met this guy called Arnie Boyum. Now Arnie was from a town called Peterson, Minnesota. Now, whoever heard of Peterson, Minnesota back then? Oh, somebody back there knows. And she not only taught there too, but now she really blossomed. She got into all kinds of community service, and she was on the city council. She's raised thousands of dollars for that community, and I am just really proud to be her friend. And she has not only been a good friend, but she's been a good mom and a good sister, and we're so happy that she's in my life. So I want you to, is Gail going to talk now?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to meet Gail. And you know what? She's not very irritating anymore.
I asked Marcia to maybe not mention this irritating thing. It's a little embarrassing, but it's true. Well, good afternoon. I wish to thank Marcia for nominating me and for being a lifelong friend. She really, herself though, should be the person being installed today. Our father told me when he reached his 94th year that when you look back on life's journey, you can smile about and enjoy the memories you shared with others, but you will realize that only a few friends will stand out as true blessings, those journeymen and women who act like cheerleaders as you move from one stage of life to another. Marcia is a true cheerleader. She never made the squad. As far as Henry is concerned, it was the 7th school that I attended. And so it was very meaningful when we finally, my sister and I, got to Henry and we got to stay someplace for 6 years. Therefore, we had an opportunity to get to know our fellow students and got to know them really well. The class of 1963 was especially close, even though there were over 300 of us in it. Class reunions, organized every 5 years by Dale Edward and a committee he put together, have kept us close and really do assure us that these are genuine friendships that we had during that time. And we thank the committee you put together every 5 years, and even the fact that that committee calls everybody that doesn't respond to make sure that those people are well or why they aren't coming and to encourage their participation. Another thing about those 6 years, we had the opportunity to get to know the faculty well, and they seemed to really care about us. So you put those two ingredients together, and it might explain the especially large number of classmates that went into careers relating to education, research, especially teaching. At one point, I counted about 20 of us at the University of Minnesota, most in the College of Education, sitting around eating lunch together in the basement of Walter Library. I think the education I received here, along with supportive friends and of course my family, for giving me the courage to do some of the things I have done. I invited my sister here today and my daughter to thank them publicly for forgiving me the amount of time and energy I have put into crazy ideas, which then impacted them because they were often asked to be part of it, like volunteer. And so you are true blessings to me. Thank you for this honor.
All right. Next on our list of honorees is Cassidy, class of 1980. And here to chat us all together.
All right, well, I'm going to use my normal speaking voice. Can you hear me much better? Yes. So, I got involved with the foundation, and that's when I heard about the Hall of Fame. And when I was thinking about people who I might submit, I came upon Kyle Cassidy, who I was kind of working on our class reunion, and found out he did some dynamite stuff with some dahlias. I got to know him a little bit better, and then I discovered that not only was he good at growing them, he was good at showing them, and he was good at working with people to have them and teach them what to do to become as good a grower as you possibly can. And he's a great guy. He has got the stamina that I cannot believe when it comes to his flowers. If you ever need flowers, you need to get Creekside Dahlias because they are truly amazing. And he is, he's been a dahlia judge. He goes to the state fair and just blows them all out of the water. And without further ado, because I could go on and on and on about why he should be here, I'm going to have Kyle come up and say a few words.
Yeah, I think you'll be able to hear my voice too. So I just want to say what a great day it is today.
Woo!
Geneva, thank you very much. A few years back, you asked me that, and I just kind of said, okay, that's sure, that'd be fine. And now we're here today. Thank you very much. It's a very nice award that we have, and I would like to ask all you guys a question. Question. Who grows a dahlia in their garden? Good, good. Remember, if you don't have a dahlia growing in your garden, it's not a garden. I was told that. But I was told to keep this short, so once again, thank you very much. And I'm proud to be a member of this club. And one more thing, my whole family's here today, but my father. My one sister went to pick them up, and they decided best not to do it. So I did tell my dad the other day. I said, Dad, I'm going to be awarded into the Hall of Fame to Henry. He goes to me, joining the club. Which I had forgotten. He's a member too. So thank you very much.
Holt. Sounds like Susan Fisher, his daughter, will be speaking.
Can you hear me? Good voice? Okay, great. I am the daughter of Robert Holt. I'd like to thank whoever on the committee could have nominated him. It would have taken a little research to uncover my dad because he graduated in 1946. Sadly, he passed away in 2020 at the age of 91. So I'm pretty sure there's nobody here who would actually remember him, but I take great pride in introducing you to my dad because he's an amazing guy. He only attended Patrick Henry High School for 1 year. My dad was the son of a Methodist minister, and because of that, the family moved all the time. He'd lived in 5 or 6 towns before they moved to Minneapolis and attended nearly as many schools. I often think that it must have been pretty sad for him to have to leave Olivia High School, where he was a big fish in a small pond, and move to the big city. But clearly, he found a warm and welcoming environment here at Patrick Henry. My dad excelled here. He was the captain of the football team and the quarterback. He was also active in many school activities, including the debate and speech team, and I believe he won the state championship speech that year. Probably most importantly, he met my wonderful mom, who was Patrick Henry High School class of 1947, and I have her with me here today. She probably also interestingly, although my mom and dad were friends at Henry, they never dated. Instead, he dated her good friend, Shirley Peterson. Many years later, my dad took a job as a young assistant professor at the University of Minnesota. And lo and behold, one of the first people he met, quite by accident, was my mom, who was a graduate student in the Department of Anthropology at the time. And so they reconnected and no doubt had lots of good memories of Patrick Henry together and their mutual friends, and the rest is history. So my dad grew up in a very poor family, although he had a wonderful family life. Methodist ministers don't get paid very much, and so the family was rich in many things, but they were not rich in cash. And so he pretty much had to make his own opportunities, and by virtue of his own hard work, he won scholarships, he entered contests, he took every crazy job under the sun you could think of, including driving trucks, painting telephone lines. He was even a cowboy for a little while. He put himself through college, attended Hamlin University in St. Paul, and then won a full scholarship to Princeton University in New Jersey. And he graduated from there in, where is it? 1952, PhD in political science. He was then drafted into the Army and served in Europe in strategic psychological operations in Germany for a couple of years. Then he took the job at the University of Minnesota as an assistant professor in political science. And that was probably the first time in his life that my dad really settled down and did one thing and lived in one place for any period of time, because his career at U of M went through 1999. So he was there for a good long time. During that time,